Hi, I'm Colin with Laser Ammo. I want to introduce you to the new laser bolt for laser ammo. The laser bolt, or flash bolt as we call it, is designed for AR-15s, AR-10s, and other PCC rifles for the average shooter. The idea is that you're able to remove your existing bolt out of your AR and turn your particular rifle into a laser-based training firearm. First off, we're going to talk a little bit about the bolt, what it does and how it operates. This operates on one CR123 battery. It works in a regular AR-15, a AR in 9mm, in 308, 30-06, 7.62, and any other AR platform rifles. In order to utilize this particular device, it works with our reactive targets, or using a red laser, you can utilize it just for dry fire training, bore sighting, and so forth. What we're going to do with this particular rifle is we're going to insert this particular bolt into this rifle, and we're going to discuss how it works further. First off, what we want to do with this rifle is we want to remove the magazine. We want to make sure that our firearm is safe. This particular mag is empty. I do have a bolt in the system. It is actually a flash bolt as well, but we're going to pretend that this is a real bolt. In this particular case, I cannot rack the charging lever because I do have a bolt in here. But what I am going to do is I'm going to pull the pin, switch my rifle open, and remove the bolt by pulling on the charging handle. By pulling on the charging handle, it helps me pull the existing bolt out. We'll pretend that this is my real AR bolt. I'm going to put it off to the side. I'll visually inspect my rifle, make sure that there's no live rounds or any other hazards there in the rifle. This gives me the opportunity to inspect my rifle, see if there's any debris or defects in my rifle. In this particular case, I can see that my rifle's in great condition, and I'm going to take my new laser ammo flash bolt and place it into the chamber. By doing so, I'm going to slide it in as if it's a real bolt carrier group, push it in gently with my finger, and it'll seat properly. At that point in time, I push my charging lever in and close the upper to the lower. I'll do so by pushing my upper pin. Next, I need to decide what kind of trigger I would like on this particular rifle. Now, I have an aftermarket trigger here. Many of you may use a stock or MOS trigger. I have a competition trigger in this particular firearm. Because I have a competition trigger in here, I have a different spacing between my trigger and the back of the trigger housing. What I need to do now is I need to decide on my trigger drop-in group the amount of tension I would like, or the pounds of pressure that we apply to my trigger when firing. This particular device requires a 3 to 3.5 pound trigger pull, and I know that that is one spacer that I'll place into my trigger mechanism. By placing my spacer in there, I simply slide it in with my finger. I'm going to use this little device that comes with it to push it all the way down. And then I have to choose the correct spacing for this particular trigger housing. We have a variety of different spacers and trigger springs here to allow us to make the trigger react just like our personal trigger. By sliding this into my rifle, the trigger housing, I see that there's a gap there of a little less than 1 millimeter. So what I need to do is I need to pick the appropriate colored trigger marker here that will help me when placing it in my rifle. The best one I know for this particular rifle is the yellow marker. By placing it into my housing, it will stay in there because it's magnetic and designed to stay there. Next, what I'll do is I will slide this behind my trigger. I will secure it with my finger temporarily. As I roll my rifle over again, I take the back half of this trigger area, and it attaches also magnetically. Now, when I look at this, I can see there's a very little space between the back of my trigger and the trigger device. Next, what I need to do is I need to connect the wire to my flash bolt. This is very easily done simply by taking the white connector and pushing it into the female end of the connector. Now that this is done, my bolt is secure in my particular rifle. The next step is I'm going to turn on the bolt. Next to our cable is a on and off switch. It's simple as pulling it back towards the buttstock of the rifle. You will know that this rifle is a safe rifle at this time because not only do you have a black bolt carrier group in here with the laser ammo emblem, but we also have the cable with the bright red indicator showing that this is a safe rifle. We know that no rounds can go into the chamber because the magazine well is clear at this point in time. You'll notice on the side here a adjustment screw as well as a secondary adjustment screw in the inside of the mag well. We can adjust windage and elevation simply by utilizing the provided Allen wrench in the appropriate spots. Once both windage and elevation have been adjusted appropriately, we can test fire the rifle on the laser ammo simulator or reactive targets or on any other cardboard target in order to determine the windage and elevation so that's aligned with your sight. I already know that this is in line with this particular optic, so I don't have to worry about making any new adjustments. Next, I will reinsert my magazine only for convenience purposes as well as the weight of the particular rifle. Once this is ready, I'm able to turn on my optics and now shoot the rifle normally as I would on one of our laser ammo targets or simulator. The flash bolt is really beneficial for me because it allows me to utilize my rifle with my specialized trigger and my optics. If I choose, I can use my flip-up sights. This particular device is very easy to insert and remove, as we previously mentioned. Next, if I want to remove the device, I will place the firearm back into the safe position by turning the safety to safe. I'll again remove my magazine, just like I normally would, and again visually inspect to make sure that it does not have any rounds in it. We know already that this is a safe rifle again because we have the indications here, as we also mentioned before. I'm going to simply pull the wire out of the housing and remove it from the firearm. The other half of the trigger housing comes off and snaps back together to stay together. When I'm ready to open the rifle, I will again pull the lower pins open and open the rifle. This is completely safe to my firearm, does not harm any parts of my rifle, and will continue to give me years of enjoyment shooting my rifle in a variety of ways. Again, I'm Colin with Laser Ammo. We appreciate your time, and we look forward to hearing from you in the future.